Well, hello everybody and welcome back to the Shed of Dread. Sorry I've been away for a while, but if you keep watching the videos, you'll understand why. Let's get straight into it. No article on this one. This one's going to be straight from the old grey matter. So, as the title gives away, this is all about Disney. Now, some people may think, well, why am I talking about Disney? Well, obviously, as a Doctor Who fan, Disney and especially Disney Plus are now intrinsically tied to Doctor Who. So, what goes on at Disney can and will have a direct impact on what happens with Doctor Who. Hence why I'm covering Disney stuff while I covered the Reedy Creek thing, which is just blowing up in Disney's face, which is another cost they have. So, in any case, we had the Q3 results. Mixed bag. Good news, they have $2 billion of ready cash, as they say, in their hands, which compared to Q2, where they only had 200 million, is a much, much better place. And it sounds great. It sounds like they've done a wonderful job. But remember, most of that has come from sacking 7,000 employees and other cost-cutting exercises. So, although they got 2 billion, it's at the cost of people. So there's that. But then he went on and saying the core businesses are going to be, the studios, the theme parks, and streaming Disney Plus. Now, the problem with Disney Plus is it's hemorrhaging viewers. It's lost over 170 million subscribers from India, for instance. I did cover it on the Reedy Creek thing, I think, if I remember quite rightly, because they lost a cricket deal. And once they lost the cricket deal, people just binned Disney Plus. Everywhere else in Europe and in America, it's kind of stagnating. They are slowly but steadily losing people. And that's because of the wokeness and the way that Disney are forcing agendas upon people. So Disney Plus isn't in a wonderful place. But they have a solution to that. And that's right, ladies and gentlemen. And guess what? Yeah, that's it. Disney Plus is going to cost even more. So the way to solve the shortfall in their eyes is to, well, basically make it more expensive to stream. Obviously, not the greatest idea because obviously the cost of living crisis and the situations that most people are facing, extra costs of Disney Plus will not be welcome. And this will have a direct impact on Doctor Who because it's the worldwide audience. But if they're up in the prices, there's a good chance a lot of the worldwide audience will be walking away. And to be fair, to purchase a Disney Plus package just so you can watch Doctor Who, I don't see it happening very much, especially not in America. It's Doctor Who's dead in America. It really is. And I don't think it's going to come back even with Disney Plus's involvement. Now, of course, there's another thing about Disney Plus, which is Hulu, but we'll talk about that in a minute because that's one of the biggest problems that Disney has. So it comes to the parks. Okay, the parks aren't doing very well. Well, they are. They're doing well in China. And I think the Japanese one's doing okay. But everywhere else, they're not doing very well. Walt Disney World in Florida, the attendances are down. Disney Go, but it's because it's been so hot in Florida. But that doesn't, of course, explain why the attendances in Universal Studios just down the road are up at a bumper high level. The reason that Disney's empty is because people don't want to go. Because of their continued agenda and wokeness, they're just making it not family friendly and people just aren't turning out. It's as simple as that. So the parks aren't doing a wonderful thing. They've gone, we've had a massive increase. We've had an uptake of season pass tickets. Yeah, well, the season pass tickets are usually for those residents in Florida. And they're not that much up. And remember that they are still having huge problems with losing Reedy Creek. And just a quick one, if you didn't catch Reedy Creek. Reedy Creek was the development organisation that runs the land around Walt Disney World. It's not owned by Disney, but it is Disney. And that's been disbanded. And now Florida's taking it over. This is all apparently due to Disney. He's only doing this, the centre's only doing this because of our objection to his rules to stop gender ideology being taught to children, which, of course, no sane human beings agree with, which is another example of Disney. Well, even if it was, it doesn't matter because now they've done it. They found out that, Reedy Creek and Disney have been being naughty, basically, only awarding contracts to those people who fit their woke agendas, and having strict rules and financial penalties for breaking those. So there's been a lot of backhand deals being done there. So any case, that's beside the point. So the parks, apart from those in Shanghai, I think Tokyo's doing okay, but the others are not doing that well. Euro Disney, for instance, their attendance is still quite low. So they're not doing very, very well. It's no good trying to blame the weather because it just doesn't work. As I said, Universal are doing a fantastic job of filling their parks. So then we come to the final one, which of course is the film studios. Well, let's just say the film studios aren't... Well, they used to be one of the main reasons and the reason why Disney had a lot of cash. But after Ant-Man and Quantumania, Indiana Jones and the Temple of Dysentery, that new one, Pixar one, I can't remember the name of it. That one's flopped. It's just, they've lost millions, billions indeed, over these films. They're not doing very well. I mean, Marvel's Secret Invasion, no one. And I mean, they are expensive to make. And I've got another video coming up sometime during the week to explain that as well. But they're not doing really well. They're not making money at all. So the film studios are not the cash cow they used to be, and they're not going to solve the problems. And of course, now with the actors' strike and the writers' strike, going to make it even worse for them. So Disney's in trouble, and the reason Disney's in trouble is Hulu. Now, quite complex. Try and explain it as far as I understand it, and we'll see how it goes. So basically, when Walt Disney bought Fox held a share in Hulu. So obviously Walt Disney now own, and with their own shares, are now actually technically the majority shareholder in Hulu. But, big but, when they bought Fox, they triggered a thing which means by the 1st of January next year, Disney have to buy Hulu at market value. Now, the one person who did ask a question is about Disney Plus and Hulu, Disney Plus and Netflix, and then added the little bit about Hulu, was the Wells Fargo guy. Wells Fargo, big banking thing. You've probably heard of it, more from Westerns, but any case. And he asked the question, can you afford to buy Hulu? And this is where the problem is. Now, Bob Iger couldn't answer it. He answered the Netflix thing, which I'll go into in a bit. But then his deputy CEO said, "Oh yeah, no, it's all right. We've got good credit rating, and we could get some money. And base figure, we're looking at $9.6 billion. Well, that's the minimum. That's what they're going to have to pay minimum, $9.6 billion. Which they go, well, we've got $10 billion on the books, but the $10 billion on the books isn't going to be all sent just to that. So they're struggling there. And basically what they're saying is we've got good credit rating, we've got loads of things on paper, so in other words, we can max our credit cards out. And they could probably afford it now. But if the market goes the opposite way, it could end up costing Disney up to $30 billion to buy out Comcast, who are owned by, that's right, ladies and gentlemen, their big rivals, Universal Studios. So it could cost Disney $30 billion to buy Hulu. They can't afford it. It's as simple. Even if they allocated that $10 billion that they've got apparently in cash fluids, and they're banking on, ready for this, the movie's doing well. Well, the films that are coming out, the Marvels, yeah, exactly. They're not going to make the money. So that does really, really, really put Disney in serious trouble. Now, the other thing they've said is they're going to do what Netflix have done, and they're going to clamp down on account sharing, which Netflix did, and it was quite successful. But again, it's another reason why people just go, yeah, screw it, I'm not going to bother with it. So that means that Disney as a company is in trouble. Now, as I mentioned before, Disney is technically, or Bob Iger did say certain sections of Disney are up for sale. Now, he was asked, is Disney up for sale? And he went, well, I can't foresee it. Now, there is talk that Apple wish to buy Disney. Now, of course, this is a problem because then that would make Apple or the biggest media organisation in the world, technically. And, they won't push it through. But there's been push-throughs with HBO's got pushed through and other things have been pushed through. So that could get pushed through. And as it's down to politicians, I'm sure if somebody spent enough money in their back pocket and bought them this, that and the other, I'm sure they'd get pushed through and that wouldn't be an issue either. But remember that if Apple do buy Disney, that doesn't necessarily mean things are going to get better. So now you can see that Disney are in serious trouble and they're not going to get what they're banking on the parks, which aren't doing very, very well, and they're banking on the films that are just bombing. Every single film that Disney release at the moment, The Little Mermaid, Indiana Jones and the Dial of Dysentery, that Pixar thing, and which is all full of ideology, they've all bombed. And then we got, obviously, Snow White. Again, another video coming up about that. You got Snow White coming out. Or is it? And that's like going to be just a complete flop. It's just not going to work. So the question needs to be asked. If Disney goes under, struggles, finds a new buyer, what will happen to the money that's been invested in Doctor Who? What happens if Disney Plus, in the part of saving their own asses, sell that off? Who's going to buy it? Netflix? Apple TV? Yeah, indeed. So not only have we got the worry as Doctor Who fans of the woke agenda that's quite clearly proliferating all over the place with Doctor Who, we have now also got to worry about the fact that some of the financing may fall apart. Any case, that's me, I'm done. As always, before I bring videos to a close, because of, what I'm suffering from, please get tested. Please ask your doctor for a full blood test. The symptoms of diabetes are right there. But remember, a blood test, it doesn't just cover diabetes, it covers everything else. And us men, we need to get things checked. We need to look out for each other. Just go get a blood test, guys. And girls, a simple blood test would solve and find many, many things, and I mean, it's okay because, like, if you live here in the UK, where now nearly 8 million people are on a waiting list to be treated by the NHS, finding out might not necessarily mean you get sorted, but at least you'd know. At least you could get there. So, if you enjoyed this, you could do what's popping up on the screen now. If you'd like to subscribe, click that like button, hit that notification bell and select it to all. And you should be notified by YouTube that I've done another video. Don't forget, there is a comment section down below. Feel free to use it. It's always there for you to let me know what you think about things. What do you think about the situation with Disney? Is it going to work? Is it not going to work? Who knows? But in any case, that's it. I'm done. Social media links up above. And you know what you need to do right now. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Just get out my shed.